ACCAD is the Advanced Computing Center for the Arts and Design at The Ohio State University. It is a center for research in many areas that come together through computer graphics and technological innovation.
So I'm working on a film called Stay Cool, and it stars this character named Fritz Fizz. And essentially, Fritz is trying to stay cool on a very, very hot day.
So the challenge with rigging Fritz is Fritz needed to be an extremely flexible character, very squashy and stretchy, to achieve all these wacky poses and all these gag expressions. Chris specifically didn't want the character to have a broken hierarchy, deformation joints riding on an underlying structure, these deformation joints being able to pull the model off the base rig, but also having that structured underlying rig to keep the character within its normal proportions and stay true to the design.
My name is Esther Palmer, and I'm a graduate student in the dance department. Whereas Tokyo was a live performance, each with a two-person audience. It had both real and virtual sets, which were designed and textured by Shanna Burns. Tokyo was largely an exploration of spectator perception, but it was initially inspired by my introduction to 3D graphics. The first time I tumbled around an object in Maya, it was like watching this great confluence of my own ideas on perception and motion that I'd been working with through cinema and dance previously. All of a sudden looking at 3 dimensions that have been created in 2 dimensions to also be viewed in 2 dimensions. And this got me thinking about the performance space in 2 dimensions.
The title of my animation is Ice, and my story takes place in the near future after a new ice age has occurred. In terms of the look and style of the design of Ice, I'm trying to combine some 2D and 3D elements, and I'd like it to have a real painterly feel. And some of the things I'm experimenting with are using the hand-painted textures layered with NPR shaders, non-photorealistic shaders, to try and get more of a 2D look to the shaders themselves. So combining those with the 2D textures, and then also I've been experimenting with some post-processing to try and merge the different layers together into a more painterly look.
The Interactive Evolutionary Design project is developing software which will allow non-programmer designers to use artificial evolution techniques as a brainstorming tool when they create 3D computer graphics.
One of the projects that we worked on this year was to work with Boris, who's an industrial designer, and let him actually use the tool in a practical application.
So in this case, airport vehicles, so with wheels and chairs, it enlarges the solution space because the focus of a specific designer is shifted within the solution space. For me personally, the most interesting area to explore is to really make this tool accessible as a design communication tool between designers and everyday users.
Landing Place was a collaboration between the B.B. Miller Company and ACCAD.
Multimedia performance that involves dance, live dance, video and animation that is based on motion capture projected on screens on stage while the performance is happening.
It wasn't until I was here at Ohio State and being introduced to the work at ACCAD that I began to consider that technology might be the way to help visualize or capture that sense of difference, of being in a different environment.
We wanted to talk not about a specific place, but a sense of place, a perception of place. And in this context, the visualization of viewer subjectivity, so to speak, was becoming possible through incorporating the quote-unquote subjectivity of motion capture movement into the animation of terrains and light and inanimate objects and environments.
Brave New Pictures, Inc. and ACCAD began a collaboration on a documentary based on the Burpee Museum's Dinosaur Discovery Jane. There were approximately 30 individuals that made up the production department on the Jane project. We had students from the departments of design, art, and computer science in collaboration on this enormous production.
It's a wonderful experience to be able to relate to people and to see how they think. It opens you, it broadens you. It's that kind of experience that you're looking for.